I just write code. I write code the whole day. We do testing, code reviews, having discussions with my team members. If you see something differently or you have a different idea, but most of my day consists of coding. And then every now and then we take coffee breaks. Yeah. That's also important.
My specific job would be sort of the front end of a mobile app where you have a nice user experience that you want to build, and then you sort of think, how can we do that? What do we want the user to do on this page? And then you pretty much build the components that you want them to use in a way that's, I suppose, nice for them to use as well.
QA tester, basically you have to go make sure that whatever's being developed actually works and that the data is being saved. There's so many different levels of testing that can take place, but essentially what I do in a day is just make sure that if someone develops a field where you need to put in your username, that you can put in a username and be able to log in successfully, log out successfully, be able to
buy something successfully. Trying
to make sure that your product is not breakable by double clicks. As simple as that could easily break the whole process of just buying an item.
Being a team lead, I need to manage my team, so I need to get the work done and also manage expectations from our customers' side. So from business side, I need to give feedback on where we stand with specific goals, and then I need to communicate with my team to get stuff done and also to get it done technically on a good standard. And then if there's any issues on the systems that get reported, it needs to be investigated, and if it's an issue in the code, I will go physically into the code base and fix it. But yeah, day-to-day is coding and managing the product.
So as the front-end tech lead, my responsibility is still to also do front-end development, which involves building pages and components to be used by the end users. But also a big part of my responsibility is to make sure that all of our different projects adhere to the same standards and coding conventions, that sort of thing, keep everything the same, because that makes it a lot easier for any developer to work on any project.
I think there's a basic flow to a day in the life of a UX designer. It differs slightly. Starts with some meetings, so we get some feedback from the clients, what they need or want, and there's usually a discussion between the support side and the development side or the UX side, and we talk about what is the best possible user experience. And then we go to our computers, we do some mock-ups, and then we often send it for feedback. Then the developers take it and they develop it into what the user sees. And on the other hand, there's the constant improvement. So even though something works doesn't mean that it's the best user experience. So that's the cool part. You get challenged with trying to improve stuff that you probably designed a couple of months ago as well.
How I often explain to people who ask me what I do is I tend to maybe say you want to book a flight somewhere. It is my job to make sure that that interface that you see makes sense. You know what information to fill in where, you know what the next step is, you know what button to click next, and that the text on that button makes sense. So it's my job to make sure that your user experience, which is literally what user experience design is as flawless and frustrationless as possible, so that you can reach your end goal at the end of the day, which is to book a flight without any problems or hiccups or whatever. And often people confuse it with UI design, which is user interface design. And it is kind of the same thing, but you can have a beautiful website or a beautiful flight booking site that looks amazing and none of it makes sense. So looks amazing is user interface design, works amazing, user experience design.